my question is: do you feel like Freeway Ricky Ross, Freeway Rick,
the real Rick Ross, not the rapper Rick Ross?
Do you think that he should benefit off of the show Snowfall or the situations that surrounded that gave us the crack era that so many of us fucking traffic in and eat off of?
Well, here's the thing. I mean, I think based on what he's saying, and I could be wrong, it seems like he's trying to take responsibility. It seems like he's trying to take responsibility for the demise of the African American community by creating crime. Like, yo, that was my idea. Crack babies, crack mothers, niggas shooting up Uzis and killing grandmoms in the street. Yo, that was me. Give me my props, yo.
That's crazy.
And I think that is a little weird. You know what I'm saying? That you actually want to take credit for the actual demise of the African American community. I mean, crack was we've never recovered from crack. You know what I'm saying? Like, no matter what, no matter what white supremacy is thrown at Black America, we've always somehow kind of been able to come back. But crack, and it's weird because we're still holding on to both sides of it. We're still holding on to the money side of it. We're still holding on to the imagery of it. We have people who actually reenact 80s crack dealers' parties and then videotape it. Like, they dress up like old drug dealers, people who we did respect when we were coming up because they had money. And we didn't know any other way to get money. But now there's so many other different ways. There's so much education out there. There's so much liberation out there.
I don't know, man. I think it's a weird thing to want to take credit for.
It's a horrible thing to take credit for, but it is his life. It is his life.
Is it though?
I think so.
I
think it's his life. It's also Rayful Evans' life and many others. Yeah. But when we take the section of California where he is from, when we take his actual connection, which was the CIA, when we take his actual connection to Oakland, California, and connect that to LA, all I'm saying is, in any life, any man's story, any woman's story, any child's story, if it is their story and it is being told, I think for some, they have already bared the cross. You know what I mean? So we don't have to worry about putting Freeway Ricky Ross on judgment. We don't have to worry about that because his judgment will come when he meets his maker at the end of the day. But while he is here, it's crazy to say, but did he patent a recipe for crack? Is there any intellectual property involved here? Like, is 2 parts baking soda, 1 part coke? You mix it in the pot, you stir it, and you make it a rock, and then you hit the motherfucking block. Dude, he got the patent.
Once you teach him motherfucker, once you teach
somebody to cook crack,
once you teach a man how to fish,
your friend is now your enemy.
Claim my fish.
Once you teach somebody how to cook crack, now you gotta take them out.
Nah, my shit different.
You gotta take them the fuck out the game.
I got a little nutmeg in mine. My shit, it hit a little different when
you goddamn right. That's why I gotta take you out. You're cooking crack better than me. Your crack recipe's better than mine.
You know what I'm saying?
I must kill you.
It's only like everybody's recipe is different. It's like
but seriously,
chicken noodle soup.
Seriously though. Should he get royalties?
Who gets the royalties for chicken noodle soup?
No. Who gets the royalties for the demise of the African American community? And should he want that? Or should he be given any kind of compensation?
He should be a social motherfucking pariah, if I'm being quite honest. He shouldn't. His behavior isn't anything we should patent fucking characters after, or TV fucking shows, or rap personas, or none of that fuck shit.
But the show
was
a
real fucking thing.
But the show was produced by John Singer.
That's cool. But I mean, for him to be like,
should we not tell these stories?
No, absolutely tell the story.
Should we not tell the story of Boston George?
We should absolutely.
Should we not tell the story of Godfather, Lucky Luciano?
But we shouldn't. They all lost in the end. Like,
that's what happens.
It's the weirdest fucking shit in the world.
That's what happens.
Like, I'm not gonna.
Do we not tell the story of the Gyp Rossettis? Gyp Rossetti. He was my favorite. He was my favorite fake gangster of all time. He was a bad motherfucker.
I don't know, man. I think a lot of these motherfuckers, this whole sort of outlaw culture shit that's always sort of persisted. Like, again, it used to be counterculture, and now it's the fucking culture and shit. And it's like, it's fucking weird. It's a snake eating itself, like eating its tail. It's going nowhere. These motherfuckers don't win in the end. I mean, why do we name ourselves after the losers to the game?
Well, I mean, that's another thing too. Well, somebody said that too. Somebody said that.
Who have Southern pride in the Confederacy.
Well, here's the thing.
Fucking lost.
Well, see, here's the thing. Somebody said that.
Loser.
Hear me out, brother. Hear me out. Somebody said, well, rappers have been calling themselves these names and they've been making movies about these people for an eternity. And I said, well, that's true. I said, but the only thing is, this man is alive. This man is alive. Yeah, that's the only difference. That there's, when people call themselves, Al Capone or Stal Capone or Mal Capone, or if your name's, Mal, or whatever the fuck, you know what I'm saying? Or Pal Capone, or people call themselves Frank Nitty, or Mike Nitty, or Gank Nitty, or Jack Nitty, or Paul Nitty, or Reese Cup Nitty, or whatever the fuck they want to call themselves.
Whatever the fuck, Ski.
Yeah, whatever the fuck, right? You know what I'm saying? So, those people are all dead. But when you actually take, and here's the thing, I'm a huge Rick Ross music fan. I love Rick Ross more than I like Freeway Ricky Ross. I don't know. I've had a conversation with both. You know what I'm saying? But all I can say is I'm a big fan of Rick Ross music. Rick Ross, the person, I don't necessarily think he should be getting credit for the recipe of crack. I think it is taking credit for the demise of the African American community for what crack did to the community. Because I remember the hood before crack. I'm that old. You know what I'm saying? I remember going outside to play, and shit was like crazy.
You can see the deterioration.
And then I remember crack. I remember motherfuckers who they was like, yo, when you grow up, you want to be like Donald. And I was like, yeah. They was like, Donald is smart. Donald's going to college. Donald can play basketball. Donald gets all the girls. Donald's going to be doing this when he gets older. He's going to be a president of the United States. He could be, before they found out Barack Obama, you know what I'm saying? But here's the crazy part about that. I mean, rumor has it, but never mind. I'm not even going to get into that. But anyway, Donald was the kind of guy that everybody in the neighborhood looked up to, right? Like, even my family was like, yo, you fucking up at school. You know what I'm talking to me? Like, yo, you fucking up at school. And you ain't gonna be nothing like Donald unless you get your grades up. And he was like the top motherfucker. 2 weeks after crack hit, they was like, yo, whatever the fuck you do, don't be like Donald, nigga.
Listen.
Straight up. And that was a shift. And that happened to a lot of people. I mean, like, crack hit so hard, so heavy. I mean, it's almost like ripping away a soul from a body. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that's a painful fucking thing. It's not easy, and that's what happened. So does this nigga get credit for ripping a soul away from the bodies of millions of African Americans?
I mean, it's twofold. It's like, who gets the credit?
But it's his
weird.
story.
It's super weird.
It's his story, and he's alive.
But it's this weird thing that we have in us that we're sort of, I don't know, like the dudes from a certain culture. First of all, let's get this out the way. Rick Ross naming himself after a motherfucker who's still alive is weird. That shit is weird. I always thought that shit was weird. Okay. Be that as it may. This is sort of weird inner shit that we have when we hear these fucking stories and we like, oh, nigga, I had the 13, 14 bricks in the joint. They gonna flip all that shit. That shit coming up. Like, we all have this sort of weird fascination with the game and shit, because our idols were these fucking drug dealers and shit. But I mean, you think about the motherfuckers as they exist now in history, if they still do exist, and it's fucking sad.
Well, here's the thing: the people that we looked up to,
and who wants credit for that?
Well, here's the thing: I think the people that we looked up to, for the most part, we were babies, and they were kids. Like, some of these guys were 17. 16, 15, 18. They wasn't even being considered fucking adults and shit when some of these guys was getting caught with and this is the people we looked up to because we didn't know any better. You know what I'm saying? We had no real point of reference. So, but at the same time, though, these were the guys who used to play football with us, like when it snowed, like, you know what I mean? Because, you know, if your pop wasn't around or whatever, you know, you go outside with a football. The only person out there was the motherfuckers hustling. 9 times out of 10, they didn't have a father or a father figure either. You know what I'm saying? And they see you out there with the ball just tossing that shit by yourself looking like a straight nut. And they be like, yo, I'm going to go ahead and talk to this little nigga. Now, they don't mean to influence you into being a drug dealer or cocaine, but now this person just showed you affection. You know what I'm saying? He just basically extended the olive branch, drizzled with cocaine, you know what I'm saying? But the olive branch nonetheless, you know what I'm saying? And now you guys become friends, or you're not even friends, but you think that you're friends, or you think that you're family, and that's the other thing. Even I mean, this shit is fucked up.
You're likening it to some sort of social acceptance.
Well, I'm just saying, this is the life. It's like you go outside with a football or basketball, you dribbling this shit by yourself. Somebody see you shooting, then you looking like they feel bad for you. They come over, these niggas got on gold ropes and shit. They shoot a couple hoops with you. You think you just made some buddies?
No, I mean, honestly, like I grew up in a neighborhood where that would happen. The opposite would happen. Like, yo, get out of here, go that way. Niggas shoot at you.
Well,
get the fuck out of here. Like,
that's a different.
I'm shooting over here by myself. I'm trying to get these buckets up so I can get out of this community. That's a child that is developed. They shoot at you.
That's a child that is developed and understands the difference.
Yeah, that's the shit we would do. Like, I'm not talking about the drug dealing niggas.
Yeah.
So it's like, yo,
well, see,
y'all niggas get shot.
I didn't know people were selling drugs.
Oh, well, shit.
You know what I'm saying? Cause I'm older than you, Truck.
Yeah.
I'm older than you. I'm talking about when crack first started. You just see motherfuckers with leather sneakers on. You'd be like, well, damn, how the fuck did you get them?
I mean, yeah, I've seen it deteriorate. Shit, man. Maybe not as early as.
Yeah, you didn't see it as early as me.
You think Freeway Ricky Ross should get paid?
I think he should get paid, definitely, and not from Rick Ross, the rapper, or Freeway, my good friend. Shout out to Freeway. I hope you're doing well, my brother. He's one of the nicest people I've ever fucking met in my life, and one of the real. He's not nice. He's a fucking badass, but he's nice to me, and he's one of the realest motherfuckers I've ever met in my life. Freeway, the Philadelphia Freeway. But shout out to Freeway, shout out to Rick Ross, shout out to the real Rick Ross. You know what I'm saying? We actually had a conversation. I got a chance to talk to this guy on the phone via my man Jimmy the Saint, who was sharing a cell with him when they was locked in the feds. You know what I'm saying? And but I think he should get paid, though. And the only reason why I say that he should get paid, because unlike the Scarfaces or the Frank Nitties, well, Scarface wasn't real, or Al Capone, Scarface was real, but whoever the case, you know, the Lucky Luciano, the new Lucianos, all those people are dead. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about somebody that's actually alive. And I think he's actually paid the price to society. He's paid his debt to society through incarceration, and it was the bag man for the entire operation. So that's why I think he should be paid from using his story. Now, as far as royalties from the destruction of African American community, those royalties should then maybe be taken from him and then reallocated to community programs. Hope I don't get killed for saying that.